Welcome to the Winter Wonderland Barbie collection. It consists of 6 garments: a skirt, a blouse, leggings, a hat, a capelet, and a scarf. The scarf is the very simplest version of keyhole scarf. That means it's got an opening so that one tail can pull through the other, which makes a very neat closure on both humans and dolls. And I actually have a whole scarf collection for humans if this sort of thing interests you. I'll put a link to the human keyhole scarf collection in the notes for this video in case you want to find it. The written patterns for these clothes are in this book, and there'll be a link to that in the pattern notes. And I also have a book of patterns for American Girl dolls, America's second favorite doll. That is linked in the video notes as well. The Winter Wonderland Barbie patterns are all made using Mary Maxim Festive Feet yarn. These patterns were designed using the same yarn, and what I am working with now is the leftovers from knitting 2 pairs of ladies' socks and a bootie. The Festive Feet yarn is a classic sock yarn, very resilient and nice, and it comes in some great colors. You can probably use any sock yarn. Do your best to match the gauge shown, but it need not be absolutely perfect because the small size of the garment means that a slight variance will barely show up. I'll be using these odds and ends left over from making adult socks. I will not be worrying about matching a pair of anything. I'm just going to use the yarn as it comes. If you did want the leggings, for example, to be a perfect match, you would need them to both be started at the same place in the color repeat. Here are some other things you need to know. All of these patterns are for standard gauge machines. All of the casting on is done by e-wrapping. If you're a new knitter or teaching a new knitter, remember not to e-wrap over tightly because that makes it rather difficult. I'll be using my Singer 740 standard gauge knitting machine. This machine achieves the gauge at stitch size 7 on the dial. Most machines I have used are close to that. My Corona, is as high as an 8. On Passups, it's closer to 6. And as you know, each machine is its own unique self. You will need to know how to cause stitches to either hold or knit back from hold. And on Singer Studio Silver Reed machines, it's this button. On Brother machines, it's N on the NH button. If you'll take a good look, you will see that absolutely everything is stockinette. We do some extremely simple short rowing for the cape and the skirt, but because it's a doll outfit and the yarn is a little bit stretchy, we don't even have to do any wrapping of held needles. Very simple and a good way to dip your toe in the water. And not only your toes. I've designed these garments with maximum simplicity, the idea being that it would be nice to be able to teach young knitters who actually still play with dolls to knit these things. For most machines, it will not be necessary to use any weights, although you may use a couple of claw weights if that will help you. However, what you just saw me do, for the first 3 rows, arranging for the carriage to knit back from hold, this is a great technique for preventing difficulties at the beginning of the knitting of small pieces. I use it for all of the pieces in this collection on my machines. Okay, let's get to work. I will be releasing a new movie every few days until the entire wardrobe is complete. That should keep the winter doldrums at bay.